Welcome to Seize the Mains class. The question was given to you yesterday with respect to while bringing out the ethical issues in marital rape, highlight the arguments why marital rape should be criminalized in India. So what should be the approach of this answer is, see, first of all, your intro, okay, then body part, and then conclusion. Obviously we know this classification. So what you have to do is, first of all, as we have already discussed in various classes, we have to pick out the keywords and then the demand of the question. What are the keywords here? First of all, first keyword is here with respect to ethical issues. What are the ethical issues? Second keyword is with respect to in context of what? That is in context of marital rape. That is your question part 1 also. Then the second part entails that highlight the arguments why marital rape should be criminalized. So 3 keywords are there: ethical issue, second in context of marital rape, and why it should be criminalized in India. So our introduction, you can start with the factual analysis, okay. It will do the work of value addition in your answers, okay. What you can state is that you can highlight the National Family Health Survey 4 in the year 2015-16. It stated that 5.6% of women have been reported as victims under the category of being physically forced to have sexual intercourse with their husband when even they did not wanted to. This highlights the issue of, as we had discussed with respect to in our current affairs class also, that it highlights the issue of equality, freedom and justice in marriage. This can be your introduction. You can also start by basically what is marital rape, that basically when the sexual union between the husband and wife is there but wife has not given a consent, that is a marital rape. Further, you can highlight that section 375 of the constitution deals with the marital rape, which is not criminalized. It is there is an exception with respect to marriage in the category of rape. You can also start with that. This is a factual introduction. You can also start with basically what is marital rape, okay, and then basically the law that section 375 covers about it. Any basically you can want it, or even if you have a basically you can rephrase the introduction. You can combine both the things basically in one introduction, that see, this is what is the definition of marital rape. Section 375 deals with it. The issue of equality, freedom and justice is evident from the basically factual data that has been presented by the NFHS, that is that 5.6% of the women were physically forced to basically have a sexual union with their husband even they did not wanted to. So any type of introduction can be done here. So your body part 1, it deals with what are the ethical issues in marital rape. We had discussed in current affairs class at length. Basically you have to mention all those ethical issues. First of all, that is we had discussed with respect to individual autonomy and freedom, that women should have a right to decide when or how they want to basically be engaged in a sexual union. That is your ethical issue number 1. Then your ethical issue number 2 is with respect to empowerment, that how women are to be empowered if they are to live with one who is incurring the sexual assault, or they will have to face the torture for the rest of the life. That was also discussed with respect to our current affairs class. Then next one is with respect to misuse. Here you can also highlight basically that what about the rights of men, that shouldn't the act should be, what you can use the term, that it should be gender neutral, that if they are accused of having marital rape, what about the rights of men, okay. Then verification, okay, what about the evidence, okay, how you will distinguish. You can highlight further that how you will distinguish between consensual and non-consensual activity, okay, that can be highlighted. Then you can highlight the another ethical aspect of interference that was also discussed, that see, marriage is a sacred institution with the religious rites and rituals. This is an interference by courts. Ours is a secular state. It should not basically interfere in the religious functioning Okay, that is another ethical issue. Then you can highlight the aspect of modernity versus tradition, that marriage should work as per traditional cultural aspects as written in Vedas, as written in various religious scriptures, or as per the constitutional morality, the modern values like we have highlighted in our introduction, equality, freedom, all these values. Okay, then next you can highlight stereotypes. What about the stereotypes? That was also discussed, that accusations of falsity of rape, if that thing cannot be proved, for example, if there was a sexual crime, okay, if there was really an incident of marital rape, but woman has not been able to what we say prove it in the court, and after some time she again files a complaint of domestic violence, that thing will be stereotyped that she is falsely accusing her husband of something that he hasn't done. Okay, that can also be vice versa also. Okay, so these are the ethical issues that all you had to mention. All the things were discussed in current affairs class. Moving your second part deals with the recent, basically that was highlight why the arguments that it should be criminalized in India. You can start with that the recent split verdict in Delhi High Court regarding the marital rape, and now the recognition of the marital rape in MTP Act highlights the need to criminalize marital rape in India. This will be your linking paragraph between both the body parts, and then you will highlight that why it should be criminalized. You will start by that we have to ensure the security of a woman, that so she should feel safe from abusive spouses, and they can receive the help they needed to recover from the marital rape. This thing was also a point that was mentioned within your current affairs class. Then marriage is not a license. This was also discussed at length, that marriage is not a license to basically escape this evil act that one has performed, that it should not be viewed as a license for a husband to forcibly rape his wife with impunity. Further, a married woman has the right to control her own bodily integrity. We had also discussed this point, that this is a what we say fundamental right under Article 21 of the Constitution. And then you will highlight issue of bodily integrity, that see woman is entitled to refuse sexual relations with her husband as the right to bodily integrity, as well as privacy is under an intrinsic part of Article 21 of the Constitution. That will be highlighted. Then you can highlight further that basically what are the other points, that see global practices are there. You can highlight that point. Okay, you can highlight the aspect of torture that was discussed, the aspect of torture that was there, that see woman has to live 24/7 with the husband who has basically, with the individual who has basically victimized her, who has basically performed such event. If an woman goes through an act of rape with a stranger, then also she has to suffer the mental and psychological consequences. But here she has to live with the individual who has basically raped her, and 24/7 she is living with that individual in that particular household. Then you can highlight the case of basically global practices that are there, that see leading democracies of the world have what we say have also criminalized rape, such as UK is there, South Africa is there, Canada is there. Then further you can highlight the another Supreme Court directives that we had discussed in our class, that see with respect to various judgments that are there, they have provided the way for individuals' right to bodily integrity as well as privacy. So Chitta Shrivastava case we had discussed, one Krishnappa case that was there, that we had discussed in class. And afterwards you will come to the conclusion part, where you will highlight that see this is a basically intrinsic part of Article 14 of the Constitution. We need to provide equality for women. There cannot be any distinction between the enjoyment of freedom or of liberty regarding anybody. We need to ensure that the Article 14 of the Constitution, that is fundamental right, that needs to be upheld, and for that purposes the marital rape should be criminalized in India. So that will be your conclusion part, and that was all for Seize the Mains class. Thank you very much.